Alright, what is up everybody? My name is Steve Areno and this is another Destiny Child video. Today I am going to be going over Ragna break, or raids in Destiny Child. In this video I'm going to be talking about what exactly Ragna break is, I'm going to be going over the interface, I'm going to tell you what you need to be doing, I'm going to go over Slayer raids, and at the end, I'll go over a few team building tips. Alright, first off, what is Ragna break? Ragna break is Destiny Child's form of raids. A raid boss will have a very large health pool, and that health bar will persist after a battle, so if you don't defeat the boss, then it'll still have however much health you left it with. And then other people from your friends list will come in and help defeat it. Alright, so let's talk about what's actually on the screen, what you're looking at, and what all this shit means. So the first screen is the raid list. So this screen is a list of the raid bosses that your friends and yourself have summoned. Each of these panels has the boss's level, it has the number of players who have attacked it, it has how much longer you have to fight that boss, and it has the boss's health bar. On this screen is also your raid tickets, seen here. Every 30 minutes, one of these will recharge up to a maximum of 10. Above that is your boosters. What a booster does is if you use it before a raid, then you'll get increased rewards at the end. Each day you get 10 of these, and there's no way to refill them. Above the boosters, you see a Slayer raid button. I'll get to that later, so don't worry about it right now. If you touch one of the boss panels, then it brings you to the battle screen. The battle screen shows a lot of the same information that was on that panel. It has the button here to start the battle. Right below that is the option for auto fever. So if you plan on doing the battle in auto mode, then you want to have that checked. And it has an option to use a booster or not. Alright, on the second tab is the raid story. Every raid will have a short story. Each section will require a few Ragna coins to access. You want to make sure you do this story at least one time. This works just like the story dungeons, whereas as long as you get 3 stars on every node, then you can collect rewards at the bottom. Alright, next up is the Ragna shop, and I'll go over the different things here, starting at the bottom. The first thing is the raid summon tickets. There are 10 of these available a day, and they are free, so make sure you use all of them. The second item here is the raid reset, and what this does is it resets your boss back down to level 1. You should never buy this, it's pretty much useless. It's only gonna make things harder for you. Next to that is 3 to 5 star equipment tickets. You can buy 5 of these a day for 3,000 Ragna coins each. And then next to that are the 3 to 5 star child summon tickets, which again, there are 5 of them, and these cost 4,000 each. Don't worry about these right now. These are things that you'll buy later on in the raid once you've already gone through all the shop resets, which I will explain in just a moment. So if we look at the top row here, then you'll see 4 items that you can buy once each, and then the 5th item you can claim once you've bought the other 4. So you need to buy these. You need to buy all 4 of the things on the top row, and then claim the 5th one. Once you do that, you'll be able to reset the shop for, I believe it was 300 crystals, and then that top row will be reset. The final reward will be switched to the next thing on the list at the top there, and you'll do it all again. And you'll just keep resetting them until you get through the 5th one, and after that the top row will change, and I'll go over what's there later. Next up is the Ragna mission list. This works just like the Lisa daily tasks, it works like the other little achievement type systems in the game. As long as you play the raid enough, then you will get all of these achievements, so don't worry about it. Just make sure to claim them whenever you can. It's worth noting that some of them repeat. For example, the one that says, use 20 raid summon tickets. After you use the 20, then it'll reset back to 0, and you'll have to use 20 again. So if you're several days into the raid and you use like 30 tickets, and then you look at it and it says you've only used 10, don't freak out. It's just that it already reset and you're just 10 more into this next set of 20. Alright, next up we're going to go over what you actually need to be doing in the raid. You want to make sure you play through the story at least once. The rewards are decent and it doesn't cost very many coins to do, so just do it. You can also grind the final node. The final node will drop Evo materials for whatever element the raid boss is. So if there's a fire raid boss, then it'll drop fire Evo materials. So other than the story, your number one goal when you start is to get your raid boss up to level 40. The way you raise your boss's level is by fighting and defeating it. So if you fight and defeat a level 1 raid boss that you summoned, then next time you summon a raid boss, it'll go up to 2. So obviously you need to know how to summon a raid boss. The most straightforward way is of course to use those 10 raid summon tickets in the shop, but once you've used those 10, then what you need to be doing is you need to be playing dungeons that cost stamina. This can be the regular story dungeons, or this can be the raid story dungeons. And as you're playing them, there's a random chance to encounter a raid boss. So, fighting raid bosses. When you fight a raid boss, the battle will go on until either 1, your team dies, 2, the boss dies, or 3, you run out of time. If at the end of the battle the boss has HP left, then the HP amount will stay where it is, and you can either battle it again, or you can let your friends battle it for you. At the end of the battle, you'll see the option to break again. What this does is it just deals however much damage you just dealt again, without having to actually battle it again. And of course, this will cost a raid ticket. In my opinion, it's worth using this option early on to get your raid boss up to 40, because you want that level 40 boss ASAP. After each raid boss is defeated, then you'll get rewards. You'll need to claim it from the raid list. And what rewards you get depend on the level of the boss. It depends on your ranking in damage. So if you dealt the most damage, you'll be rank 1, and that'll get you more rewards. You also get a bonus for discovering it. And if you use a booster, then that'll significantly increase the amount of rewards you get. The most efficient way to use those boosters is to use it on your own raids, and then make sure that you're in the number 1 spot on those raids. You must deal at least 2% of the damage in order to get rewards, and in order to raise the level of your raid boss. So you can't just summon a raid boss and then let your friends defeat it. You have to actually fight it and deal at least 2% of the damage if you want it to raise level. Each time you defeat it, then the level will go up. It'll cycle through different bosses depending on the level, with level 40 being the highest and its final form. So between your own raid bosses, make sure to help out your friends, because you want everybody to cooperate together for the raid. Okay, so what's so important about getting to level 40? Well, at level 40 you get more rewards and you get more Ragna coins for the shop, but most importantly, level 40 drops platinum chests. So what are chests? Bosses, depending on the level, will drop either a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum chest. Plat chests are the best, and they are going to be your main source of rewards from the raid. Chests will drop childs, they'll drop equipment, and they'll drop Ragna coins. Platinum chests, you can actually get 5-star childs from. You can get a copy of the raid child, which is very important because that's how you'll get uncaps on them. And there's a very small chance of also getting a limited special skin for that child. So in addition to getting to level 40, your other main goal is getting through the raid shop. You want to get to the final reset as soon as possible. Don't spend Ragna coins on anything other than that top row until you've gotten through the resets. Every time you collect that final reward, reset the shop, it costs, I believe, 300 crystals, if I remember correctly. You want to get through and get that final reward as soon as possible. The child for the raid boss at the end is exclusive, so you want to make sure you get them because you can't get them anywhere else. Once you clear the resets, then your shop will look like this. The top row will be replaced by chests. At this point, the way I prioritize spending Ragna coins is, number one easily is the platinum chests. You want to make sure you buy all 5 of those every day. Number 2 is the summon tickets. Number 3 is the gold chests, and number 4 is the equipment tickets. And then if you still have Ragna coins left over on that day, then buy the silver chests. The bronze chests are really bad, and you should only really be buying them if you're absolutely swimming in Ragna coins. Personally, I like to keep the 50k Ragna coins on hand at the end of every day, so I can buy the platinum chests immediately when the reset happens. And then I build up that 50k again, and then after that I'll start spending the additional on the summon tickets and the gold chests and whatnot. Make sure you spend those Ragna coins though. They don't carry over to the next raid or anything. At the end of the raid they'll just be turned into gold, so spend them, get rid of them. Alright, next I'm going to be talking about Slayer Raid. So, either 1 or 2 weeks into the raid, they're going to introduce Slayer Raid. Everybody who has a level 40 boss will qualify to be a Slayer. Once this is unlocked for you, then Slayer Raids are going to be your focus. Slayer Raids give you more rewards, and you want to climb the Slayer rank as high as possible. So here's how Slayer Raids work. Somebody will summon a raid, and after they fight it, they'll use the Slayer Call, and this will open their raid up to all Slayers. So as a Slayer, you'll go into the Slayer Raid list, which is that button above the boosters, and there it'll give you a list of raids for you to do. And as long as you are a Slayer in these raids, then you'll get a little boost to your rewards. So for these Slayer raids, you want to maximize your damage, you want to really go for those number 1 spots. But, in my opinion, it is not worth using multiple tickets on a single raid. You'll get more out of them just by doing another separate raid. When you are really confident that you'll get a number 1 or at least a very high rank in damage for a raid, then go ahead and use that booster. And at this point, your goal is to just get as many platinum chests as you possibly can. So you want to make sure that you're claiming your Slayer count rewards at the bottom of the Slayer raid list. You want to make sure you're spending your Ragna coins on those platinum chests, and you just want to be doing as many raids as you can. And that's how these raids work. You just want to be raiding as much and as often as you possibly can every day. So real quick, I want to go over some team building tips. Team composition is really important for getting a high damage rank, and element is really important for hitting that high damage. So you absolutely need an attacker on your team, of course, and that attacker needs to be the correct element. You also need a healer. The raid boss is going to be doing a lot of damage to you, and you need to heal it back or you will not last the time. So other than an attacker and a healer, you also probably want a buffer of some kind. I also recommend having a debuffer, something to lower the enemy's defense or something like that. And in that final slot, you can either have a second buffer, so you can have somebody speeding up your team and somebody increasing attack, or alternatively you can put a defender here. As long as your team can survive without a defender, then I would not use a defender. It's more important to just deal more damage. Ideally, everybody on your team will be the correct element for the raid, but that's not always possible. So don't worry about it too much. As long as your attacker is the right element and you're dealing a lot of damage, then that's going to be your main focus. The majority of your damage during raids comes from fever time, so build your team with that in mind. Alright, and that's all I really have to say about raids. I know this was a lot of information, so feel free to comment with any questions you may have. If I missed anything, then go ahead and leave a comment about that. I'll do my best to reply and get back to you. If my video was helpful to you, then please give me a like. and make sure you subscribe for some more content. Thank you so much for watching through the entire video, and good luck to you on your raiding endeavors. See you next time.